A special visitor was visiting the island of Sodor. Engines came from all corners of the island to see him. Some came for the stories, some for his fame, and some, like Gordon, grumbled and pretended not to care at all. But secretly, he did.
Puh! All these people surrounding me with cameras, yet no one will take my photograph.
However, try as he might, James's cries fell on deaf ears.
No one recognizes how splendid I am.
Incredible, said Thomas. I can't believe you were the first engine to hit 100 miles per hour. Don't forget he's Great Western, added Duck.
And I heard he did it pulling the mail train. That's my job. I could be next.
Gordon gave a loud sigh. Oh, don't start. 100 miles an hour. Pulling mail vans. Puh, the very idea. They'd shake themselves to bits at that speed. You'd be lucky if your precious post didn't end up scattered across every field from here to Barrow. He gave Percy a glare. And as for you, don't get any ideas. Little engines and speeds that high don't mix well. Besides, there's no proof we ever even went that fast. It's all talk. My brother was the first to hold an official record, and that's what matters. Truro spoke up at last, his voice calm but pointed. Ah, so you're Scotsman's brother. He did mention you might be spirited. He gave Gordon a steady look. But tell me, why is it you only ever talk about his records? Don't you have any of your own worth sharing? Or is all your pride borrowed? Gordon spluttered. Puh, the very idea. I pull the express, thank you very much. And I'm the fastest engine on the island. What more do I need? Not the fastest now, muttered Duck. You've never reached 100. Our special visitor holds that title for the time being. Gordon said nothing, but he fumed quietly and muttered under his breath for the rest of the evening. Percy had said very little since his interaction with Gordon. He was far too busy thinking. He delivered the post nearly every night, and when he heard that Truro had once pulled the mail at 100 miles an hour, he couldn't stop wondering what it must have felt like. Later that evening, Percy asked very softly,
Would you mind telling me what happened the night you went 100 miles an hour?
City of Truro was silent for a moment. His eyes seemed to shine in the dim light. Then he began. It was a calm May night, he said. 1904. I was standing in the sidings at Plymouth, steam up and post vans coupled. My fireman checked the lamps, my driver paced along the platform, and the mail clerks clambered into their sorting vans with bags of letters bound for Paddington. We were the Ocean Mail Special, non-stop to Bristol, then on to London behind another engine. Our duty wasn't glamour, it was precision. We didn't wake the towns, we didn't blow whistle. We slipped through the night, unbeknownst to the world. Percy hung on every word.
We pulled out at 9:45, past darkened stations and quiet houses.
Through Totnes and along the River Dart, the moon made the rails shine. There was always a certain sense of peace on those nights. During the day, I was constantly surrounded by noisy engines and busy stations. He gave Gordon a glance. He was peacefully sleeping in his berth. Now, don't get me wrong, I did love it, but I looked forward to the night. That's when all I could hear were my thoughts. I'm sure you understand, Percy. Percy did. Truth be told, he was a little taken aback that Truro had remembered his name at all. By Newton Abbot, we were making good time. I felt light. No drag, no sway, just the rhythm of my wheels and the glow of my firebox. The climb to Whiteball was a long and steady one. The tunnel at the top marked the highest point of our route. My driver leaned in, quiet, calm, and opened my regulator just a touch more. Steam echoed off the cutting walls. The post vans hummed behind me, not a jolt, Not a clatter, only the low thrum of an engine doing his work. As we entered the tunnel, I felt a stillness, as if the night itself were holding its breath. And then we were out, and the gradient fell away ahead of us like a long ribbon of moonlit steel. I flew. The rails blurred beneath me. Telegraph poles danced past in flashes. The rhythm of my wheels rose and rose until it was no longer a sound but a feeling. The fireman clung to the tender, eyes half shut against the wind. I could hear nothing but the roar of air and the thunder of speed, yet everything was under control. I was not fighting it. I was a part of it. There were no curves to slow me, no hills to stop me, only the world becoming a blur of light and shadows. They say I reached 100 miles an hour. I don't know if it's true, but I know what I felt. Percy whispered.
What did it feel like?
Truro paused. When he spoke next, he was quiet, as if he were lost in thought. Like I was flying. I wasn't carrying the mail anymore, but delivering a promise. At Taunton, we braked gently. The train came in smoothly, smoke still streaming past my cab. Their mailbags were exchanged. The clerks nodded and the guard's watch showed us 3 minutes ahead of schedule. There were no cheers, no reporters, only a few porters blinking sleepily in the midnight. We rolled on. It wasn't until a few days later that the railway company reviewed the times and wrote it down. Somewhere between Wellington and Taunton, my mail had touched 100 miles an hour. After that, the story was out. Percy was amazed. He perked up.
Were you scared? Going that fast?
Truro looked at him with a kind expression. No, he said. My driver was wise, my fireman was a good sort, and even with them in my cab, I felt as if I were at the throttle myself. I trusted the rails, the timetable, and the task. There's no need to be afraid of speed, so long as you remember what you're doing. The people need their mail, you know. On time, too. Percy nodded solemnly.
That's what I try to do.
And so you do it well, so I've heard. And that's what matters most. Not the miles per hour, but the miles with purpose. Unbeknownst to Truro, Percy hadn't heard that last part. He was thinking to himself about how important the mail was. It had made him rather conceited. But that's another story.